Hi everyone, and welcome to TWF Power or Might. I am Mike Lane here with Jonathan Coachman and with Paul E. Dangerously. And today on Power or Might, we know what we're today on Power or Might. You know, we are going to see someone we haven't seen in some time. Mike Lane says, and that would be The Undertaker. We haven't seen him since 2020, when he had his match with AJ Styles and the rest, match that happened back in 2020, and now we're going to see The Undertaker now. Mike Lane says, I can tell you one thing, Jonathan Coachman says, The Undertaker, he's in the W Hall of Honor look. He is a former he is a 5-time WWE heavyweight fighter. He is a 1-time USWA heavyweight fighter. He is also a WE hard middle fighter. He won the WWE Tag Team winnings 2 times with Kane, once with The Rock, 2 times with The Big Show, once with The Rock, 2 times with Kane. And at the end of the day, he's also a former WCW tag team fighter too. Jonathan Coachman says The Undertaker has been in the TWF for years, and I would think he's been in the TWF since 96, when he showed up as that glow-in-the-dark doll, Jonathan Coachman says. Well, you're right about that one, Mike Lane says. The Undertaker has done a lot, both in WWE as well in the TWF. We will see him here. We'll see him here today. On Power Might. Mike Lane says, I'll tell you one thing, Paulie Dangerously says. I'll give a lot of on-look to The Undertaker because he has somehow kept on top for so many years. He has been on top in WWE for so many years. He's beat almost everyone there is. And somehow after all these years, he's still around. And I still don't understand it, Paulie Dangerously says. And this is coming from a man who's fought with The Undertaker on and off, starting from 2002, YL. Well, now The Undertaker's come to the ring now, or at least it's the Vinlander Bad Rear and Big Evil. And he's got Powerrr with him. Alright, The Undertaker says, I haven't been in a TWF ring since 2020, YL, when I had my last match with AJ Styles, which happened in WWE around the same time. Now, a lot of folks out there wonder, does that mean I was done? I mean, when you stop to think of it, was I truly done? Well, a lot of folks are like, well, Undertaker, you lied. Earlier this year, you helped Bray Wyatt out against LA Knight. Yeah. Now, let me tell you something. I have been digging holes and taking souls for years. No need if I was the Western Undertaker, the Scaled, the Dead Man, the Lord of Darkness, or the Vinlander Bad Rear, or Big Evil, or whatever other offshoots I played over the years. And one man has been with me for all of those years is Powerrr. Oh yes, as you know, I have been with my Undertaker for many years. I have been a kinship with my Undertaker for many years. You see, my Undertaker has seeked a way to be in the WWE and the TWF for many years. And as he said, he was digging holes and taking souls. He was keeping his yard well. And he was making folks well known too. Oh, yes. And he was also making them rest too. You're right, Paul. I was doing that for many years. And you know something? I've also met two other friends over my long years. Me and Powerrr have been friends with the Undertaker. Me and Paul here have been friends with Xena and Gabrielle since 9 between 99 YL. Well, I met Xena in 9 between 99 YL, met Gabrielle in 2001 YL. So, here today, you're going to get to see me. Here today, you get to see me have a match against someone. Now, who is that going to be? Who is going to come on an onlook, or other words, shame my yard? Like I say, you don't onlook my yard, I'm going to shame you. So you better give my yard onlook. Oh, onlook this and onlook that. And oh, Undertaker. It seems at the end of the day, it's like, you ever heard the saying, out with the old and in with the new? You don't know me. My name is MJF, and that is Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And Undertaker, I think that it's time for the new blood, or the new breed, to take over. You see, Undertaker, I am a former two-time TWF heavyweight fighter. I am the AEW heavyweight fighter too. And what you are, boy, is someone who hasn't learned any onlook. Yeah, I'll give you your thanks, MJF, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Yeah, you might be the AEW heavyweight fighter. You might have been a two-time TWF heavyweight fighter. But I won that belt 6 times. And you're going to learn to onlook your elder wrestlers or elder fighters. See, I know what you're all about, MJF. You're a young pup who thinks you know everything, who goes around and shames everyone, and the NWA, and MLW, and JCW, and AEW, and you think you're the shit. Well, you're not. You're going to onlook me in my yard, or I'm going to make you well known. Undertaker, don't you mean you're going to make me rest and rest? Yeah, you're going to be well known when I beat you. And what about you, Paul? You've been with the Undertaker on and off since 9 between 90 YL. What do you got to say? Oh, Lord Friedman, has I warned you, and so has my Undertaker. You will onlook his yard, or he'll make you well known. He'll make you rest and rest too. Yeah, right, huh? He doesn't do anything. He doesn't have any might. He has no witchcraft. Oh! The Undertaker's had enough. The Undertaker has had enough. And now he's going to get MJF, Mike Lane says, up in the last ride. The last ride. But that's not good enough for him, Mike Lane says. No, it's not, Jonathan Coachman says. He's also going to get the burial stone dropped. There, I told you, onlook my yard, or I'll make you well known. Here, put this back on. Oh, my Undertaker, we shouldn't shame his worship. You're right, Paul. Then put it back on him. Oh, my Undertaker, we should onlook his worship. Yeah, you're right. Well, it seems that the Undertaker heard enough of being shamed by Maxwell Jacob Friedman and got the last ride and the burial stone. All at one time, Mike Lane said. Couldn't have happened to a greater man, Jonathan Coachman says. I get angry over that, Paulie dangerously says. From one Jewish man to another, I thought that was shameful what the Undertaker did. Well, But then he put his scarf back on his head, so I can't be that angry about it. But why would The Undertaker do that? Whatever onlook I may have got for The Undertaker, I no longer have any more onlook. Well, Jonathan Coachman said, didn't The Undertaker give you a, didn't you and The Undertaker fight on and off from 2002 YL to at least 25th between YL? You know. And we don't know if Maxwell Jacob Friedman is going to be bitching if he wants to get a match with The Undertaker here today, or does Xena thing The Undertaker, Mike Lane said. Yeah, I fought with The Undertaker on and off, Paulie dangerously said, from 2002 YL to 25th between YL. He beat almost every one of my buyers that I had. And Maxwell Jacob Friedman seems to be irked and angry. Well, he can be irked and angry at the same time. Now we're going to see what happens. I want a match with The Undertaker. Well, you want a match with The Undertaker, Astronema says? You want a match with The Undertaker, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, after he left you laying in the middle of the ring? Yeah. Well, alright, I'll give it to you. But you're going to be laying in the middle of the ring again. Well, you just heard from Astronema that Maxwell Jacob Friedman is going to be having a match with The Undertaker here today on Power or Might. And that means he's going to have to take his scarf off again. You know, looks like he's going to have to take his scarf off again, Mike Lane says. But not for any worship grounds. Well, Paul Bear's for The Undertaker. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, who going after The Undertaker, and the Fight Lord fell down, and Maxwell Jacob Friedman is already getting irked with this Fight Lord. Oh, The Undertaker got him. The Undertaker. Oh, choke slam. The Undertaker just choke slammed Maxwell Jacob Friedman, Mike Lane says. And guess what? Jonathan Coachman saying do the thing called the old learn. He just hit him with the old learn. Jonathan Coachman said. Paulie Daniel said, come on, Maxwell Jacob Friedman. You can't let The Undertaker beat you. Last ride. Mike Lane says, here comes the burial stone. More like this. I'm going to do it. Okay. There you go. It's over. 1, 2, 3. Ding, ding, ding. Here is your winner, The Undertaker. And The Undertaker and Paul Bearr have gotten, The Undertaker has got a new win over Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And even call him whatever you want to call him a winner here today on Power and Might. Sorry for the ring, being so awkward. For most of all that match, we didn't know where it was at. And now, Tony Schiavone is now going to be talking with The Undertaker. No, with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Alright, Mike Lane, I'm going to be talking with Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on Power and Might. Maxwell Jacob Friedman, looks like you didn't do so well. Oh yeah, Tony Schiavone, I just got shamed by The Undertaker, shamed by Paul Bearr. Well, Maxwell Jacob Friedman, I believe you shamed The Undertaker. You shamed Paul Bearr. You should know to have onlook for your elder wrestlers and elder fighters or overstars or whatever you want to call them. Tony Schiavone, I'll tell you what. The Undertaker, he keeps calling the ring his yard. He keeps talking about making folks rest and making them well known. I don't care if he's a Western Undertaker or a Dead Man or the Skilled Lord of Darkness or the Vinlander Bad Rear or Big Evil or whatever he's calling himself. I don't care what offshoot he's playing either. I'm going to beat The Undertaker. Oh, he's in the Hall of Onlook. Everyone on looks The Undertaker. Well, I don't. Undertaker, you made a foe out of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And my foes, just ask what happens to them. What does happen to your foes? Maxwell Jacob Friedman. They get beaten, Tony Schiavone. They get shamed. That's what happens to them. They get beaten. They get shamed. Well, that was my talk with Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Back to you, Mike Lane. Well, thank you, Tony Schiavone, for talking with Maxwell Jacob Friedman here today on Power or Might. And it is all the time we've got here for Power and Might. I am Mike Lane for Jonathan Coachman and Paulie Dangerously. We hope you like Power and Might. And we'll see you tomorrow for Monday Night Raw or a Lone Day Night Raw.